Good morning. Last minute impromptu live stream. Are we going? We got everything going? Audio? Check, check, check. Yep. Everything seems to be working. The question is, am I still the cheap audio man? Carmine DeSanto. Sounds like your name sounds like the character in, I don't know, a TV drama. Good morning, Randy. Coffee and donuts. There's cheap and then there's value. You'll know the difference when you hear it. And yes, we're all looking for that unicorn. Yeah, I feel like I'm transitioning in a good way to being value oriented. And I still do that. And of course, the name's not going to change. But, and the reason why is because I was shooting a video this morning, and it's for a $2,000 preamp. And I was thinking to myself, have I lost my way? But I still want to talk about good stuff. And I still want to talk about value stuff. So, yeah. Anywho, probably going to be the value audio man. Brian Romska in the house. One of my longtime patrons. Good morning from Possum Kingdom Lake. What up, Michael? It's getting over. I think it's going to rain today. Even washed the car. Frugal audiophile. That's right. Cheap's always been like a moving target too, right? Like, who can say what is cheap? You can have a cheap private jet. Slovenia. What up, Go-Go? It's John Shepler. I'm the 1K man. That's right. This live stream is my 1,000th and one video. That's bananas. Now, some of those were obviously, a lot of them were live streams. I don't know, probably maybe 100 live streams. But still 900 videos. Even if it's, let's say it's 150 live streams. 850 videos. That's bananas. It's a lot of videos. Ozarks. And yes, until you decide otherwise. What up, Edric? Good morning to you. What? No, I'm still the cheap audio man. But there's going to be more videos that are on more expensive stuff. Of course, every time I do a live stream, UPS guy comes to the door. So, anywho, is what it is. Well, there's only so much cheap audio. That's true. There's new stuff that keeps coming out, though. Cheap advice audio, man. Yeah. You're definitely the cheap audio dude. I love that. You know, that was going to be the name of the channel initially, the cheap audio dude, but it was taken, so I couldn't get that. So I went cheap audio man. Frugal fidelity. That's actually got a nice ring to it. Mark Pioli. Frugal fidelity. I like that. I hope you keep your value content. That's what brought me. Yeah, for sure. Always going to keep the value content, but somebody else's point, there's only so many things that, I mean, they're coming out. Like ELAC just came out with a great new speaker, the Debut 3, which comes in at $450. I think that's very value oriented. If someone comes out with $100 really good speaker, I'm reviewing it. It's just that the pace of companies releasing really, really affordable stuff is way slower than the pace of people releasing things that, are really $1,000 and up. So for sure, the dog is happy. The dog does not make me happy when she does that. Things aren't cheap anymore these days. Yeah. Lonnie McLeod, thank you. Yeah, there's still great values to be had. And I was super happy when ELAC came out with the Debut 3. $90. There we go. James, he's put a ceiling on it. Audio bargain, bro. Expensive ears with broke pockets. That's right. You know, that's something. Um, Please no. Okay, speak okay for reviews. No, that's not going to be happening. I just lost my train of thought. $90 expensive. Okay, here. Um, so yeah, I think that brings up a good point, and I don't know if it's the point that you meant to bring up. Is like we pay a bunch for all of this audio equipment, super high end stuff. Let's say you're buying $10,000 system or something, which incidentally, like a lot of people consider $10,000 not to be that expensive. And I have run into that when you start to put together a home theater system and you start to have, 13 pairs of speakers in there. You start to, and you build that over time. But, we get all this, and most of us aren't young bucks out there. So our hearing isn't as great as it used to be. And so are we able to tell the difference? I would argue kind of yes, because I hear differences in equipment all of the time. And I do this for a living. So I think yes, we can hear a difference, but at a certain point, you know what? I guess I'm talking about this in the wrong way, because audio is kind of like food, right? There's a bit of a different flavor on everything. So we can't, as a hobby, just say, well, this one is better than this one, is better than this one, because there's flavors. Anyhow, if I missed any super. Oh, by the way, 50% of any super chats coming in today is going to go to the Timberview Middle School Band Fund stuff. 10K really isn't expensive, which is really scary for my credit card. I think though, Sparkle Ponies Eclectica, I think if we build over time though, then like 5 years, 10 years from now, if we get $1,000 DAC or whatever it is, and it's great, and then maybe, a year, 2 years later, we get a better amplifier, whatever it is, like over 10 years, if you spend $1,000 a year on hi-fi, over 10 years, you can have a $10,000 system and a really good one, especially if you're buying like really good amplifiers and really good preamplifiers or really good integrated amplifiers that aren't going to go obsolete, and you're not going to feel like you need to update them or upgrade them as soon as some new streamer comes out or something like that. So yeah, $1,000 a year probably is where most people are at, or what most people could do. So after 5-10 years, you can have a really good system. I don't hear a stroke over 14K. I think I tested myself, and granted, I mean, how accurate are any of these anyway? But I think I got up to, I think it was like 16 or 17. But after that, I couldn't really hear much. You have to make a living. We will launch no matter what your review. You provide a great service. Thank you, Robert. I love doing the expensive stuff. Like right here, I have this integrated amplifier's $2,000, but I mean, it's just bananas good. It's Unison Research. It's all analog though. So that's one of those products that can just live with you for 20 years, 30 years, if it never craps out. That's your amplifier, Awesome. Matt Hatcher, $10. Cheap audio school band man. Thank you so much, Matt. And the kids, thank you too. Very much. Sparkle Ponies Eclectica, $19.99 for the kiddos and you. Thank you very much. And YouTube. They take their cut too. Very, very generous. Sound, I can't say that. I know what you're saying though. Sommelier. I don't know how to say it though. John Scheffler, in reference to food, your reviews are like reviewing fast food. But every once in a while, there's no shame reviewing a great steakhouse. Yeah. I love fast food. I haven't been eating it though. I've been on this health kick, salad kick. So, yeah, let's do a little impromptu. We'll do a little impromptu questionnaire here. I want everyone that wants to list their top 3, and we're going to talk hamburgers here, cheeseburgers, whatever it is. Your top 3 fast food places to get a cheeseburger. Okay? And then we'll discuss. And I'll tell you who's wrong and who's right. I'm just kidding. Unlike any other hobby, audio always gives the nagging feeling that you need something else. Yes, FOMO and gas. My problem with hi-fi YouTube channels is that that is always keeps the something else's at the forefront of my mind. Yeah, it's difficult too, right? Because I'm a big fan of cameras and stuff like that. So I watch a lot of camera channels. I watch some car channels too. And it's like every time something new comes out, it's just like, ooh, even when they're like, okay, well, there's some things that I don't like or whatever it is. The new stuff, we want the new stuff. I get it. That's why I started this channel. Seriously. It's like I was watching all the audio YouTubers. I was like, this is awesome. I love this. And I think I can do this too. Frankly, it was a joke when I first started out. All right. Here we go. We got some rolling in. And there seems to be an overwhelming theme, and I do not disagree with it. All right. We got Five Guys. All right. I haven't been to Five Guys in a long time. Five Guys is actually kind of expensive. Whataburger, JR, Lonnie, Whataburger, John, Whataburger 1, 2, and 3. We have y'all again, Shake Shack. I haven't been to one of those. Whataburger. So we have, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the top 6 are with Whataburger. And I don't disagree here. In-N-Out. I'm a big fan of In-N-Out. So for me, it probably goes Whataburger and In-N-Out, really tied for 1 and 2. It just depends on what mood I'm in. Whataburger has gotten to the point to where, like, they're too big at this point. I used to get a double with cheese, and I can't even comprehend eating that now. But I love Whataburger. Love Whataburger. In-N-Out, though, is a little bit like, that's kind of my jam as far as portion sizes now. I can get a 3x3 or 4, whatever it is. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Five Guys, Burger King, and Culver's. Very interesting. Okay. You know what another one is? Probably my third is, not everybody has them, but it's Brahms. It's kind of like an ice cream joint, like an old school kind of Dairy Queen style, but it's really inexpensive. I mean, reasonably inexpensive, and they're really good. All right, Habit. I've never heard of that one. Never heard of this one either. Oh, well, you're in the UK, right? I don't even know how to say that. Over the mom and pop places, Five Guys overall. There we go. So Five Guys, Whataburger seems. Here we go. Another vote for Five Guys. So we got Whataburger, Wendy's, Five Guys, Culver's, Freddy's, Sonic. I like Sonic Burger too. All right, here we go. In-N-Out, In-N-Out, In-N-Out. All right, Jason, we're synced up on this one. New things like me with watches and YouTube. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I'm not getting out of watches, but I've got a lot of money in watches right now. Thinking about selling some of them, and then selling a car, and then getting a different car. So that's been my latest obsession. Budget in this hobby is relative. I agree. The thing I appreciate with your channel is even when things are leaving the realm of traditional cheap, you're always focused on the value to performance. Yeah, that's the problem though, is like once I get to like once I get to like a $2,000 preamp though, it's like, what do I have to compare it to? Because I haven't really played around with stuff that's like uber expensive or on that upper level. So I can't say, hey, this $2,000 preamp is really great value. It's as good as a $4,000 preamp because I haven't really listened to any $4,000 preamps. But the one I've got going, probably going to post it tomorrow, is it's spectacular. I mean, it's a lovely product. All right, we got Edric, In-N-Out, Five Guys, Wendy's. Wow. So Five Guys, In-N-Out, and Whataburger seem to be the consensus here. Are you worried about not being cheap anymore? No. I really was just trying to get a decent title that would get people to click on it. But I did want to have the conversation. Holy cow. Nick TD, $50. Fund the band. You bet. Thank you, Nick TD. Wow. That is awesome. No, but I mean, in complete transparency, you got to have decent titles. Otherwise, people aren't going to click on them. It's not that this is clickbait, though, because I actually wanted to talk about it and get your feedback on it. Because every time that I do a video that involves something, and it just depends, right? People always say, this isn't cheap. Guarantee, I will put this, the preamp, I almost said In-N-Out. I will put this preamp video up tomorrow or Saturday, and there's going to be comments. This isn't cheap. So anyway, big shouts to Little Big Burger. I love it. I love it. White Castle. Oof, John Shepler being contrarian. White Castle. Jack in the Box and Taco Tico. I haven't had White Castle. I think I've only had it a couple of times, one of which was in Louisville, Kentucky, when I did a full Ironman there. And it was downtown. So the Ironman was, I mean, it started downtown and it ended downtown. And there was nothing. And I was staying in a hotel down there. I think I did rent a car. But anyway, I didn't want to drive all over the place because it was the night before the race. And I was like, I just wanted to walk somewhere. And so I ended up having White Castle, a bunch of those little sliders, which aren't terrible, especially with the little onions. So yeah, I think I may have. No, we got all the super chats. Big super chats coming in today. ELAC DB3 worth an upgrade over the Klipsch RP600M and 600C Mark 1. Completely different speaker. So I can't say like this is an upgrade. It's very different, very good. But it's going to be a way different sonic sound signature than the Klipsch. So Klipsch are really forward in the upper mid-range, very exciting, can be fatiguing. Debut 3s, warm, lush in the mid-range, a lot of body, fairly linear through the mid-range, and then the top end will pick up if you listen fairly loud. So probably about 75 dB and higher on the ELAC Debut 3s. Then you're going to start to hear some of that top end detail and stuff come in. Where it's going to be kind of the opposite. You're never going to get that warm mid-range with the RP600M. You're going to get a little honkiness with that titanium dome horn with the Klipsch, but completely different sonic characteristics for that. Shake Shack. Sonic, New Stacker, The Bomb, and Five Guys. Absolutely love both In-N-Out and Whataburger, but have access to neither here in Washington. I'm trying to think. I lived in Washington for a while. You know, in a pinch, I always go to McDonald's. Five Guys is way too expensive. I kind of agree with this. Like, you go to Five Guys and you get fries and a drink, it's like $20. Local pub, no chains, please. The problem with that, so I've tried to do this, and like it's all over the map. There's no continuity. So yeah, Max in Sweden. That would be such a fun video. Like if I had my druthers and I could make videos on whatever I wanted. That would be the coolest thing, is to like go to Europe and to go to all of these like European fast food joints and like try it out. But there's got to be a chain. That'd be fun to do in Japan too. Holy cow, Brent S, 1999. Just be you and you do it well. My stuff is based around your recommendations, and those complaining have cheap thinking. Well, thank you. Not everybody is a fan of mine though. I know that's hard to believe, but not everybody loves me. Uh, White Castle is opening a new location in Springfield, Ohio. Wow, look at that. Burger, Burger, Florida. Hey, does anybody know what's happening with Burger King? Because like it used to be a thing, and then around here, like there's hardly any. I think I know of two or three. Here's you go. Any good plain arm magnetic headphones for $300 or less? Yeah, absolutely. Um, Sundaras, Hi-Fi Men Sundaras. I think these can be had for $300. Actually, for a while, and if you can find them, these go on sale. These are the Edition XS, which I like better than the Sundaras. And then it's pretty much Hi-Fi across the board. You can actually get the HE something 400 or something like that for like less than $200, and they're really good. So, yeah, all Hi-Fi all the time. Although I don't know if these are available yet. These are the Virum 2s. These are really good too. I don't know how much they cost though. I think they're coming in a little bit more expensive, maybe $350 or something. But that was a Kickstarter. They're great though. Look at this. It's just swinging. Woo. All right. Okay, I got that. I got Brent S's super chat. Very good. Dog burgers in Springfield. I think I know what you're referring to. It's something to do with the debate, right? But listen, I do not want to talk politics in here. No politics. But I think that's a joke about the debate. Chicken rings. Brian Romska. White cast and be great every once in a while. I agree with that. All right. You still use the Akatika preamp? I do not. I give that away to one of my patrons, which here's a shameless Patreon plug. If you want to have an opportunity to get free gear, then sign up for Chiefs. This thing just keeps going. Sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/cheapaudioman. And we do giveaways all the time. So I have a great Discord moderator, Martin. And about once a month, I take him a car full of hi-fi equipment. And then if you're active on the Discord, he kind of posts it up. And whoever gets in there first and like claims it gets it. Now, you can't like sit on it. So once you get something, you're out. I think for a year or something like that. But yeah, so the Akatika preamp and power amp both were given away on my Patreon. Like this last Patreon haul was big. 2 pair of Yamo speakers, a Rotel amp, a Rotel CD player. I think the Akatika was the previous one. But anyway, yeah. Sax players need love. Thank you, John. $10. That is so awesome. Ramon, my man from Chicago. What's happening? Burger Kink. Now that, they should change the name to Burger Kink and totally do a redesign. It's slowly going under, it seems. Some locations here in Dayton, Ohio closed. Yeah, I think Burger King is... Burger Kink, I love that. It's so funny. Like that should be... Like somebody should start up a new franchise, new chain called Burger Kink. Or Burger Kink. Just exactly like you spelled it. Love that. Didn't like it? No, I loved it. It was great. But you have to understand, like, I have so much stuff that if I'm not using something, I have kind of a test. If I haven't used something in 6 months, then it goes to somebody that will appreciate it and love it. So there are certain things that I don't think will ever leave, but that was sitting collecting dust, and somebody needs to like have fun. Somebody needs that, and I don't need it. So it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Selfish of me just to sit on things, and it would be selfish of me also to sell that, even though I bought that and built it. Um, but yeah, yeah, and a lot of the stuff goes to people that participate in the Sunday night Zooms too. Like somebody will be like, any good preamps? I'm like, yeah, I have one. I'll send it to you. Off topic, but Randy, ever been to Goldie's? I have not. I have not. Edition XS now, $269. Seriously? That is a bargain. That thing was a bargain at $500. I thought that is absolute craziness. $269. I'm gonna put an affiliate link in here for that. If you guys are looking for, this is the best. Now, I mean, granted, I like the sound signature of the Hyphaman, so it may not be like for everybody, but if you can get it on, here we go. If you can get it with a return policy, I mean, just try it out for crying out loud. But $269 is bananas. All right. This is an affiliate link, which means if you click and you buy, you get a commission. Doesn't cost you any more, though, so it's a great way to start or support the channel. BK itself is doing fine. They are the fourth largest fast food joint by revenue. Just individual franchises are not doing well. Okay, there we go. Just ordered a pair of KEF Q350s for $300 off Amazon. Sold by Amazon. Pretty stoked about it. Now to find an amp. Those are good. I like the 150s slightly better. 350s are good, though. Big Kahuna Burger. It's a Hawaiian burger joint. Very nice. Very nice. Did I get the $10 super chat? Yes, I got it. That's from John. All right. Found a $15 Sony TRD-H190 at the thrift store yesterday. Still had the hype stickers on it. Huh. That's awesome. $15. Very nice. All right. Here we go. Purchased a Gishelli Labs Daisy, but with the Sparkos and the blue lights, also in plexiglass frame. It sounds beautiful when it is paired to my tube mono amps. Yeah, I don't think it gets much better than that, than the Daisy. Mine does not have this Sparkos in it. So mine is only the Texas Instruments. And I say only, it still sounds great. Sounds awesome. Very good. Ryan, how do I listen to my turntable and or streamer with headphones? I have a Yamaha AS501 integrated. Do I need a headphone amp as well? Where do I plug it into? I think the 501 has a headphone amp in it. Let me see. I'm almost positive. I thought maybe I had the 301 sitting here. Yamaha AS501. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, it's got a headphone amp in it. So you just turn on. When you plug in headphones, I think it's going to cut the speakers out. So you just turn on whatever you want to listen to and then put some headphones in there. So select phono if you want to listen to a turntable, and select digital, whatever your streamer's going into as far as an input, and Bob's your uncle. I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Here we go. Blinking Man, $4.99. Thank you. Chick-fil-A has good milkshakes. ASA bonus, but that stuff is now $10 a kid. My kids like Chick-fil-A. I go to Chick-fil-A all the time, and you are absolutely right. It's $10 a head for a kid. So we go to McDonald's too, mostly for the kids, but McDonald's is like the best value when it comes to the kids because there's always a deal going on, and so I can get like $5 basically for a Happy Meal, And I used to eat double cheeseburgers there. I don't do it anymore though. And so, but my older kid, she just likes a regular cheeseburger. So I can get out of McDonald's, feed two people for usually less than $10 and sometimes $8.50 if they're running a deal. So yeah. Scott's Life. I appreciate your channel. Scott's Life Off Grid. Do you have a channel? That sounds very interesting if you do. Let's see. YouTube. Let's go. Scott's Life Off Grid. I don't see anything. All right. Anyway, that would be a cool channel. I would watch that. For sure. All right. Freaking Unbelievable Burger. I'm not familiar with that place. Still like the Q Acoustics 5020. Love them. Love them. Love them. I wish they were a little bit cheaper, but they're spectacular. The 5040s, really good. I do have a channel. Scott, put it at, link your channel down here so everyone can go and subscribe. I'm from the UK, but the best burger I had in the States was the pulled pork burger from DQ many years ago. Oof, I need to make some pulled pork. It sounds amazing. Just upgraded from Q Acoustic 3020Is to 5020s. Best investment aren't they great? I think you're over there, right? You're in the UK. So I think they're a lot cheaper over there. Are they not? I thought they were. But they're just beautiful. There's something about that speaker. There's some magic in the mid-range. All right, John Shepler, going back to fast food. I love it. McDonald's now has the $5 bag like Wendy's, cheaper than a Happy Meal with more food. Crazy deal. Cheap fast food, man. LOL. I love it. Any chance to review the new Fozzy Audio DA2120D? I don't know what that one is. I do have a box from Fozzy Audio, though, that I haven't opened up yet. So, yeah. I'm rocking the Galleon TS-A75, pushing some MoFi source point. Yummy. Love the sound of this amp. Yeah. That's a Thomas amp, right? Thomas in stereo, the Galleon stuff. I've heard nothing but great things about his stuff, which is awesome. Yes, in the UK you can get them for 400 pounds. That's amazing. Yeah, that speaker at 400 pounds is incredible. That speaker at 800 is good, but I mean it's tough when you have an $800, 5.25-inch woofer speaker. I still think it's worth it, absolutely, 100%. But for 400 pounds, it's very nice. I can't stand the British sound. Listen, we can't just like lump everything into one like bucket. Because I've listened to a lot of speakers. I've listened to a lot of Q Acoustic speakers. I've listened to what is the other brand? They made the Diamond Wharfdale. I've listened to a lot of Wharfdale speakers. They all sound different. So they don't all sound like what quote unquote British speakers. So that's cool, but it's also kind of like, I think back in the day, people would say the British sound, the American sound, this sound, whatever it is. I think manufacturers may have a bit of a house signature, house sound, but even among like ELAC, for instance, debut versus debut Mark II versus debut Mark III, completely different speakers. Klipsch RP600M Mark II versus the Mark I, completely different speakers. So even within, yeah. So it's more complicated than that. I wish it was that easy, but it's not that easy. Jay Kelly, $1.99. Thank you. That's one heck of a LinkedIn profile picture right there. Looks like you're getting ready to conquer. Gonna run across the meadow with a sword in your hand, yelling freedom. Let me take out a bunch of people. Have you ever gotten into vintage speakers? No. No, I haven't. Because I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of speakers how they were made in like the 80s and 90s. And I've seen a lot of speakers like on Facebook Marketplace, and like that does not interest me. Um, Vintage electronics, maybe, but vintage speakers, no, not at all. And not remotely interested. I guess it's like anything else, though. I mean, if you know what you're looking at and you know what it was priced at back in the day, but yeah, no. Speaking of Fuzzy Audio, what happened to the V3 mono giveaway? I put the link in there. There was a link to whatever it was. So whatever video I mentioned that on, there was a link to enter the giveaway. So after that, I have nothing to do with it. That's coming from Fozzie. So that would be a question for Fozzie. You don't review NAD products very often, right? No, I don't. It's not that I don't want to. That Lenbrook is the company that owns NAD. We don't really talk that much. Occasionally we do. Because Lenbrook has Dolly, and I was very excited to get some Dolly in. But the guy that I talked to, I don't know. I think his boss doesn't like me or something. Maybe. I don't know. Dolly, if you're out there, if you're watching, do you like me? Send in your speakers. They have this one speaker that has a soft dome and an AMT tweeter stacked on top of each other. They're like $2,000, but it's a floor stander. And I love Dolly speakers. So Dolly, if you're out there, email me. I'll email them after this. But it sounded like sounded good when I met them at Audio Advice in Raleigh, and then it didn't sound good anymore. Blinking Man, $4.99. Gishelli XLR out goes into what? XLR in and then XLR out to Fozzie V3 monoblocks. XLR in. I thought maybe they're out in the living room. Yeah, I don't have them. Yes, so that's how you do it. Gishelli XLR out into an XLR in. Absolutely. That's how you do it. I really enjoyed the Dolly Room at Audio Advice Live. I did too. Dolly, if you're out there, please email me. I would love to get your speakers in and do a review of them. And thank you, Blinking Man, for the super chat. That's very nice of you. All right. Oh, hey, we missed Tony Ramo. Hold on. All right, so this is what Tony said. I can't. Where is that, though? I'll just read it. Tony Ramo, $20. School band is at least 75% of the reason that I appreciate music. A question. Any advantage or real need to add USB on a J2S? Will be connected to a Wii Alter, never a computer. Nope. Save the $50 or the $60 or whatever it is. Do not. I'm not a fan of USB at all. So yeah, if you're not going to hook up a USB, then don't pay for it. The only reason that I have USB on any of my Gishelli DACs is because they send them to me, fully spec'd out. But if I was buying one, I would not buy one with USB because I just don't use it. My computer is not my source. Now, if I had something like a desktop headphone rig or something, maybe I'd use USB. I probably would use USB, but no, not yeah. It's an easy way to save $50. So yeah. All right. Just ordered the SMSL AO 300. Can't wait to go from 50 to 160 fonts on my Emotiva T0 Plus towers. Great sounding amplifier for sure. Don't expect you're going to get 165 watts though. But it does put out usable power, and the T0 Plus, a little bit hard to drive, but I mean, unless you listen at stupid levels, it's going to be great. Still searching for a turntable, cart, etc. Great seeing you in Raleigh. Thank you. Oh, Thomas, my man, my brother. Thomas Dix, how you doing today on a, Thursday? Another great patron, and we get together and we see each other at different audio shows and stuff. So great guy, great part of the community, a lot of experience. Love it. I compare the A1 clone to the AO. I don't know what the A1 clone is to the AO200 Mark II, and the A1 completely craps on that. I don't know what the A1 is, and I always really like the AO200. Is that the Class A one? Probably. Um, Randy, is the Weem Ultra compatible with an Android phone? Yes, I think, as far as I know, I saw some comments that they just released an Android app. I'm contemplating picking a unit up, but don't want to have to make the switch to Apple. Yeah. If anybody knows, plop it in the comments. But I know for a fact that I've seen comments on other videos about the Android app and people being able to use it to do room correction. So I think you're good. My main source of choice is still CDs. Yes. What's a good DAC CD coaxial connection? What's a good DAC CD coaxial connection? Cecil, I'm not sure if I understand the question. But I'm with you. I love CDs. For me, when I'm listening for pleasure, vinyl, CDs, streaming. When I'm doing work, streaming, and then streaming. But streaming from an external DAC, and then maybe streaming from another DAC or something like that. But I love physical media. I've actually been listening to some cassettes too. I'm amazed by this. See, Cambridge Audio AXA25. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a crazy amp, right? Crazy good amp. Chinese A1 clone of the musical Fidelity. It's $250. Seriously, just buy it, Randy. I don't want to do like, what's the brand name? I hate to do that. Because I don't like it when people steal other stuff. Now, granted, I know that there's always stealing of technology, but if it's like an obvious clone, then yeah. Ancient Alien A50. I just noticed your screen name. I love that. All right, I gotta get to these super chats. Wait, I need the box in the middle, preamp or amp, and I have a powered sub on the way. Need to bridge to that. All right, Blinking Man. Explain it a little bit more. So you have Deshelle Labs, right? And then you're going to V3 monos. In that case, you would need something to control volume because the Deshelle Labs does not have variable voltage, so you cannot control the volume. And the V3 monos, well, they don't have volume either because they're straight power amps. So you would need something in there to control volume. Now, there are some fairly affordable options like this is now, but you won't be able to use balanced. This is the Saga. I also think that Fozzy Audio is coming out with a preamp that has balanced, so you may want to wait on that. So yeah, but later down here in the comments, like stretch that question out a little bit more and give me a little bit more context, and then I'll definitely answer that. And thank you for the $4.99 super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Yes, you nailed it. Okay. Thanks for supporting music in schools. Bring back Saturday morning a rage bands to save rock and pop. There's a really good video that was done by the channel is called what is it called? Punk Rock something. I love the guy. I'm actually a patron of his. Punk Rock. What is it? Anyway, he does really great videos about kind of the state of music, talking about bands, mostly rock, metal bands and stuff like that. Punk Rock MBA. That's what it is. And he made this great video about why like rock music is not good anymore. And like how we went from the late 80s to where, like hair band, Van Halen, stuff like that was like ubiquitous on the radio. Like that was the popular music. Like rock music was what was popular that everybody liked. And then it went into like grunge, and that was what was popular. I mean, you had pop, right? Like the 80s and early 90s pop. And then you had rock music, and they all like were getting played right next to each other on the radio, which was fantastic. And, well, we don't really have radio much anymore, but yeah, it's a great video on just why, hey, rock music kind of sucks right now. And he wasn't very optimistic. He's like, I don't know, is it going to get any better? And the guy knows music really well. But I am happy to do whatever I can for the school bands. Yeah, this one, the patent is released, so it's not stealing. There you go. Cool. I think I have links blocked, but if you could tell me where I could find it, then I'll look into it for sure. China has closed a lot of out of patent vintage amps, amongst which the Music Fidelity. Okay, there we go. Don't even review it. Well, I'm not trying to be like chippy here, so if it's all good, I'll review it, especially at $250. Just tell me where it's available. As far as like, is it Amazon or do I have to go to their website directly? Jeff J, $5 question. I have a pair of Swan OS 10s and Weem Ultra for home office. I'd like to add a sub for more bass, music, and some gaming. Thoughts? No, go for it. Weem Ultra's got a sub out with bass management. It'd be great. I don't know the Swan OS 10s though, so I'm assuming those are powered speakers. Yes, for sure. Oh, here we go. AliExpress for 250 is completely insane. All right, I'm gonna look this up right now. Is it just called? I'm sorry, I keep asking you questions. What is the brand name, or what does like it say? So when I search AliExpress, I can find it. All right. Dragnet Sound, $10. Thank you. I know you. The Green Record. I love it. Powered, yes. Yeah. Just sub out from the Weem Ultra, and you'll be rocking and rolling. You can even adjust level on the Weem Ultra. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Sub recommendation: $300 or less. RSL 10E, I think it is. It's great. You can't beat it. For $300, you cannot beat that subwoofer, bar none. And stay with RSL, because I think even their regular 10-inch is, I think, $400 or $500. SVS SB1000 Pro is kind of my sub of choice for music. I think they're great. $600 though, but it comes with an app. You can do crossover levels, even EQ through the app. So great. Emotiva also makes great subs that are very reasonably priced. But so RSL, SVS, Emotiva is what I would look at. I think Auto-Tune ruins too much music. All right, so it's just called A1 amp clone, literally. All right. I haven't bought anything off of AliExpress forever. All right, AliExpress. Here, let me share my screen. It's just like, looks like Temu. Temu wanted to sponsor the channel, and it wasn't an insignificant amount of money either, as far as my sponsorships go. So it was a really solid sponsorship as far as money. And like, I looked at it and I was just like, I cannot, I couldn't do the sponsorship, because I'm looking at them like, I can't do this. And I usually take just about any sponsor. All right. A1 clone amp. Is this it? It's saying $173. I got to get this. Hold on, let me go back here. Fun Kenya Hi-Fi Store. Look at it. You could become a dealer. Buy 2 pieces, get an extra 5% off. Clone Musical A1 Pure Class A Power Amp. Yeah, why not? Shipping $60. Okay, so here's where free returns for 90 days. Yeah, I bet that return process is seamless. Returning something to anyway, very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Actually, I'm gonna email that to myself. Copy, and then I'll email that. I'm gonna text myself actually. Text myself so I remember. Boom. A little bit aggressive with the keyboard there. All right. Very good. Thank you, Ancient Aliens. I appreciate that. Wish I had a affiliate relationship with it. I think I can get one. Nick TD, $25. Thank you. Building a new system. Budget is around $500. Thinking Wing Streamer, Fozzy Audio amp, and kit built speakers. Thoughts on a decent speaker kit to build for this setup, or should I switch to a different setup completely? Okay. So if you're into woodworking and you can do it, one of my patrons has a company. It's called Neil Blanchard Designs. Let me see if I can bring it up. Neil Blanchard Designs. Okay. He has got a new, actually, it's on the main page here. He's got a new speaker design. Now, it's still going to run you some money here, but from what I've been told, they're fantastic. All right, so boom. All right, so that's Neil's website. For $500 though, I think the Ultra's out because that's $330. I think that'll take up too much of your budget. But the Wing Pro, I think you can get that for easily $150, and it often goes on sale for $125. Okay, so that leaves us $375, right? So $375 you need to get an amplifier. So you could go a couple of different ways. You could look into something like the Fozzy Audio. Hold on. This is the ZA3. Okay. Cool thing about this amp is you can put it in mono eventually. So you can get one, run 2 speakers, and then you can use it to run mono. It also has a subwoofer output. Okay. Because the Wing Pro does not have a subwoofer output. Okay. I think this is $150. So we have 125, 150. So what is that? That's $275. So that leaves us with $225 for speakers. $225 for speakers. I mean, you can always look at the Sony SSCS5s, which are great. If you can stretch a little bit, you might be able to find the ELAC Unify first generation for just north of $300. I'm trying to think what would be like a really good kind of discontinued speaker that you're getting huge value for money. What do I have back there? Yeah, speakers are going to be a little bit difficult. You could build some from Neil. I think the all in, I think it's less than $200, but I think you still have to buy wood. So you can also look at the Mica RB42s. You can, they're small though. Anyway, yeah, that's what I would do. So yes, Wing Pro, ZA3, and then you'll just have to kind of find some speakers. So yeah. Shipping is expensive. Yeah, but I mean, for like the thing that I would be worried about is like all the caps and would be like fake or something like that. Or, but I mean, for $250, like what can you expect? Thanks for not taking the Temu sponsor. You're welcome. I just couldn't, man. I like their splash page was just like, ugh. It just looked like it made me feel dirty when I was looking at their splash page. So yeah. Q150s on sale. Love the Q150s. That is an excellent price for the RT85. Fluence makes excellent turn. I love turntables. I love U-turn turntables, and I love Fluence turntables. I think absolutely best value for money. RT85, Ortofon 2M blue, amazing. Auto stop, amazing. That cartridge alone is like $230. Just the Ortofon 2M blue. It's like $200. And if you look at a lot of turntables, like a lot of them, a lot higher dollar turntables don't even include a 2M blue. So pretty amazing. That T0 plus towers I mentioned, I paid $150 for the pair, brand new in box on Facebook Marketplace. Shop to use. There you go. Yeah. Try to find some used stuff for sure. You can look also, see if you can find a used Yamaha AS301. They're really solid. Very solid. A little bit dry in the mid-range, but great power for what you get. So want to upgrade bookshelves around $500. Looking hard at XLS Encores. Like to build in a project with the kid. Worth it over ELAC 3 or B2. Yeah. The Encores are really a great speaker. On the bottom end, I mean, if you want to listen super loud and you want to drop bombs, the XLS Encore is not the speaker for you, but you can always add a subwoofer. But it has got the sweetest mid-range and top end for a speaker that you'll probably hear in that price range. So it's a great speaker and a fun project for you and your kid. A lot of fun. So, yeah, great speaker. Have no problem at all recommending it. Looking for best matching floor stand speaker for Yamaha RN602. Currently using Yamo C97s. Yamaha RN602. Let me see. Yamaha RN602. Let's see. This is a network hi-fi receiver. Okay. That kind of looks like an AS501. It's probably just like a 501 with a streamer in it. I would look for something a little bit on the warmer side. So looking for matching floor stand speaker for the Yamaha. If your budget allows, the Q Acoustics 5040 I think would be a good match for that. And the probably newest generation of the ELAC Debut 3s, whatever that floor standing is called. I don't know what they come in at. But Yamaha, again, a little bit pushy in the mid-range and top end. So I would probably look for something a little bit on the warmer side to pair with that. For sure. All right, I want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats because, all right, I think we got it. Well, I appreciate everybody watching. Well attended, and I didn't even tease this. I just turned on the computer. So I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate all the super chats. I know Timberview Middle School also appreciates all of the super chats. I hope you have a great week. Be safe and be kind to each other. All right. I love you. Thank you all for being here. Love you, love you, love you. Listen to some yummy music today.